Tlachtga is an intriguing and somewhat enigmatic figure in Irish mythology, associated with the land, magic, and ritual sacrifice. She is most famously known as a goddess of the earth and fertility, and her story is intricately tied to the creation of the great ritual site of Tlachtga, which played a significant role in pre-Christian Celtic traditions. Though not as widely known as other figures in Irish myth, Tlachtga's legacy endures, particularly in the realm of the sacred landscapes and festivals that were central to ancient Celtic culture. Tlachtga's tale begins with her connection to the powerful god, the Dagda, one of the principal deities in Irish mythology. The Dagda is often depicted as a great father figure, associated with fertility, abundance, and magic. In some versions of the myth, Tlachtga is said to be the daughter of the Dagda, an immortal woman, while in other accounts, she is a woman of great wisdom and magical power, closely linked to the fertility of the land itself. Her exact origins vary, but her most notable legacy is tied to the site of Tlachtga, a hill in County Meath, which was considered one of the most sacred locations in Ireland. Tlachtga's role in Irish myth is intricately connected to the concept of the earth's fertility and the power of ritual. In some versions of the myth, Tlachtga is said to have given birth to a child who would become the forebear of the kings of Ireland. This connection to kingship underscores her role as a goddess of sovereignty, a common theme in Irish mythology. Her influence was not just in the realm of fertility but also in matters of leadership and the balance between the divine and mortal realms. Tlachtga was, in many ways, a figure who personified the land itself, nurturing and sustaining both the rulers and the people who depended on her blessings. The most famous aspect of Tlachtga's story is the connection to the great hill or mound named after her. The Hill of Tlachtga, located near the modern town of Athboy, was believed to be a place of immense magical significance. It was here that, according to legend, the great fire festivals of the Celts were held. The Hill of Tlachtga was a key site for the Samhain festival, the precursor to modern Halloween, which marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter. During Samhain, the fire ceremonies held at Tlachtga symbolized the renewal of the land and the coming of the darker, colder season, a time of death and rebirth in the cyclical nature of life. Tlachtga's role in these rituals was significant, as she was thought to be the one who ignited the great fire that signified the beginning of the Samhain festival. The fire represented the sun's return, and the people would gather around the flames to offer sacrifices and prayers for the fertility of the land in the coming year. The sacred fire that was lit at Tlachtga was a powerful symbol of both life and death, embodying the balance between the two. In this way, Tlachtga's story is not only one of fertility but also of the cyclical nature of time, how death, decay, and the harshness of winter give way to rebirth, renewal, and the vitality of spring. Tragically, Tlachtga's life is said to have ended in a manner that reflects the dangers of the powers she wielded. In some versions of the myth, Tlachtga dies as a result of the intense magical energy she summoned during the rituals. She either perishes in the flames she conjured or dies from exhaustion after performing a great act of sacrifice for the prosperity of the people. Her death, like her life, symbolizes the ultimate connection between life and death, the giving of one life to ensure the vitality of the land and the people. This sacrifice underscores the ancient Celtic understanding of life cycles, where death and rebirth are inextricably linked. The legacy of Tlachtga, both in terms of her myth and her place in the physical landscape, is enduring. The Hill of Tlachtga remains a sacred site, and the rituals performed there, particularly the lighting of the great Samhain fire, reflect the deep spiritual connection the ancient Celts had with the land. Her association with the fire festival of Samhain links her to themes of transformation, the passage of time, and the transition between life and death. Tlachtga's story is also a reminder of the pivotal role women played in Celtic spiritual and religious practices. Like other female figures in Irish myth, Tlachtga's power is deeply tied to the natural world and its cycles. She represents the strength of the earth, the life-giving forces that nourish and sustain, as well as the sacrifices that are required to ensure the continued prosperity of the people. In many ways, Tlachtga embodies the divine feminine, nurturing, powerful, and deeply connected to the earth and the seasons. In conclusion, Tlachtga is a fascinating and multifaceted figure in Irish mythology. Her connection to the earth, fertility, and sovereignty, as well as her role in the sacred rituals of Samhain, make her an important symbol in the ancient Celtic worldview. Tlachtga's life and death reflect the cyclical nature of existence, where sacrifice and renewal are fundamental aspects of the human experience. Through her story, we are reminded of the deep connection between the land, the people, and the divine forces that govern the cycles of life and death. Tlachtga's legacy endures in the hills, festivals, and myths that continue to shape the cultural and spiritual landscape of Ireland.